Is there an economic strategy that the government has beyond increasing taxes? Now let's take a look at the breakup first. So you've got the base price of petrol, these are Delhi prices, at 17.96, then freight charge 0.32, excise duty 32.98 rupees, dealer commission at 3.5 rupees, a state VAT, that is Mr. Kejriwal's tax, at 16.44. So take a look at the base price of petrol, it's at 17.96. and the retail price is at 71. And then the government tells you, see, price is not changing. But you have not passed on. The question is not that the price has not changed or increased. The question is, why has the price not decreased? Why has the benefit not been passed on to the people? Diesel prices, let's take a look at the breakup. Base price is 18.49, freight, etc., 0.29, excise duty up to 31.83, dealer commission at 2.5. In Delhi, the VAT, state VAT is at 16, diesel is at 69.39. These are just Delhi figures. Now the central government, instead of passing the benefit of cheap crude oil or reduced oil bill, and by increasing the tax, hasn't the center given states the liberty to increase their VAT as well? And will this not increase the cost of petrol and diesel? Will that not have a negative impact or a cascading impact on a lot of people who are dependent? Now take a look at India and tax. So this is a figure that we have sourced from PPAC and IOC. India has 69% tax on fuel, highest tax on petrol and diesel. That in Italy is 64. In France and Germany is at 63. In Britain is at 62, Spain at 53, Japan at 47, Canada at 33, and US is 19%. Those figures are on your screen right now. In fact, many of the developing countries also have very little tax on petrol and diesel, not certainly 69% that you have in India. The government says that increasing these taxes are going to help them because it will give them more funds to plan and implement policies. Hopefully in the future also announce some sort of a relief package. But then there is a flip side. The flip side is that right now there is a huge financial problem. People are jobless. And when you increase the cost, I'm not talking about fuel. I'm not talking about alcohol. I'm talking about increasing the fuel bills and not passing on the benefit of low oil rates. Is that not criminal at a time when people are suffering? Let me introduce our guests at this moment, a very special guest that we have, Mr. Subhash Garg. You're the former finance secretary in the government of India. Mr. Garg, good to have you on the show. How do you look or analyze at this decision that has been taken by the government? I by no means suggest, Mr. Garg, that can you hear me, Mr. Garg? Mr. Garg, can you hear me? I don't think Mr. Garg can hear me. Mr. Subhash Garg, can you hear me? Yeah, Mr. Garg, my question to you is this. Do you think that it was a good policy to impose such a hefty tax on petrol and diesel, whereas the government could have actually passed on some of the benefit of a reduced oil bill?
See, my sense on this is that you have a very volatile oil prices prevailing in the world. Now that introduces so much of variation in the price that it can upset the economy and it can create major problem when the prices go up. Therefore, if you use the excise duty tool for preventing this volatility, to that extent, to my mind, it is fine. Today, the excise duty on diesel is about 32 rupees. Basic price is only about 18-19 rupees. 11 rupees has been put up recently. Now, this has ensured that the price remains where the prices were before the COVID crisis and the oil crisis started.
Correct.
I think that's a sensible move. We don't know when the prices of oil will start going up, and to some extent this will cover the losses which will come on account of the volume losses which are happening.
No, but Mr. Garg,
the diesel sale and the petroleum sale is 60% down. in April. So this would have resulted into loss of revenue in any case. So
Interesting.
if it is a temporary measure, it covers to some extent the losses of volume. I think it's fine. The problem will start when the oil prices start going up, and the government will have to take a decision to
cut
bring
the
down the excise duties.
Correct.
To see that the oil prices don't go up from the current
Correct.
level.
But you know, the
At
problem,
that
Mr. Garg,
stage,
is
sometimes it's difficult for the government.
Mr. Garg, the problem will be that the states will also would have increased the VAT. Look at what has happened in Delhi. Almost 8 rupees increase in state VAT. See, how can the center increase the taxes and not expect the states also to do the same? They have also had a revenue deficit.
See, the states had a value-added tax on them. So they levy value-added tax. The center levies fixed tax. So if the excise duty is levied by the central government at a higher rate, the state's VAT is protected. If you don't do it, then the state's VAT also suffers. So it's not working against the states.
Okay.
They may increase it further. That's a different matter. Like it has happened in 1 or 2 states, but that's a marginal adjustment. They won't be required to do it if they are able to get the advantage of higher prices
Okay.
because of the excise duty.
Okay. All right. Mr. Garg, thank you so much for joining us right here on NDTV. That was Subhash Garg, former finance secretary, explaining in great detail why the government has done what it has, but then when the prices increase, what impact is it going to have? Shama Mohammed of the Congress Party is with us. Mr. PKD Nambiar is a political analyst also with us. Let's introduce them to take this conversation forward. And Sandeep Somani, Chairman of the Indian Council of Sanitary Ware Manufacturers Association, Vice Chairman and Co-Managing Director of HSIL Limited, will also be with us. Shama, let's begin with you. You heard the argument that was placed by the former finance secretary.
I did not hear anything. Your people called me very late. They've been making me wait for the last 15 minutes. I haven't heard anything. So you can't tell me you...
Okay. All right. Mr. Nambiar. Mr. Nambiar, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Sanket. Go on, please.
Yeah. So my question to you is, you heard what the former finance secretary had to say. He seems to suggest that it is normal practice. But see, it would have been expected as of this moment from the government to pass on some of the benefits of the very low fuel bill to the people. See, if you expect, the government is trying to tell the people that your price is not increasing. Fuel price has not increased. The question is, why has it not come down? Mr. Nambiar.
So, Sanket, as a consumer, if you really ask me, I would have been very, very, very happy that if the benefit of the oil, the crude prices, which has come down quite drastically, should be coming to my pocket. But having said that, there is this like a chicken and egg story that we all are expecting, the country is expecting, from an individual to businesses to you and me, are expecting some kind of a real help coming from the government. Now, how will a government will function? Government also requires to have a revenue to give you all those benefits. One thing is very clear. So I think one of the 1/5 of our revenue, of the budgeted revenue, comes from the oil. And secondly, even for the states, we call it in India is like a fuel economy. The fuel economy consists of 2 things. One is the transportation, that is the petroleum prices which we are talking. And the second one is another kind of a fuel which you have seen what is happening in Delhi. That is the liquor, the excise duty and etc. Both state and the central government is taking. I think it's a high time for all of us to, even the government and the economists, to think beyond taxing more and more on
Well said.
fuel and making that as an essential part of our economy and our revenue.
Well said. In
But
fact,
having said that, we are right now going...
Yeah, you know, Mr. Nambiar, I invited a lot of suggestions from the people, and we have Mr. Sandeep Somani also with us. Mr. Somani, you'll be surprised what suggestions came about from the people. Let's see if we can run a few of those tweets and response on the screen right now. Many people said that rather than increase this fuel bill or taxes on fuel, why doesn't the government think of cutting down its expenditure? There are a lot of vanity projects that the government has thought of. Why don't you cut that? Take a look at a few of these responses that we have on our screen right now. GST billed within the state. Central GST should go to the central government. State GST given to the states, which has not in fact been given. It should go directly to the state. That is one of the many tweets or the response that has come in. Give the states the money that they deserve, and then they will do what they have to. But see, I'm sure there are no easy answers, Mr. Somani. I mean, I would have asked this of the Congress party had the spokesperson not been so childish that she didn't get her opportunity. I mean, she could have spoken right now, but her loss and ours as well. Yes, Mr. Somani.
So, the problem is that we are in once in a century kind of event. This COVID-19 is a global issue. And I think because the economy has been closed down by the government for the health of the people, and we are now 40 days into closure, and by the time we open, if we open on the appointed date, 18th of May, it'll have been 57 days. So not only is the economy greatly suffering, but I think the government finances, and both of the central government and the state government are suffering, and extra expenditure is required in fighting COVID. So I think the easy thing for the government to do is tax petroleum products, because the demand is virtually inflexible. If somebody has to travel, they have to travel. And the advantage of the low oil prices, historic low oil prices, if I may say, instead of being passed on to the people, the citizens of the country, is being absorbed by the government to hopefully improve its financial figures and use some of that money for the expenditure that they have to do, as well as to compensate for lack of GST and income tax collections. So I think the government is also, in a difficult position, and this is one of the tools in their hand.
What about cutting expenditure? I mean, yes, there has been a salary cut, a haircut, if you were, in the government. Yeah. But beyond that, what else can the government do apart from raising these? See, how far will you go? Oh, then the tax component in petrol and diesel will be 80, 85%, 90%. You'll just keep on taxing.
It's already some 69%.
69%, exorbitant.
Yeah. So I think certainly the government can look at cutting expenditure, but my experience has been that it has rarely ever succeeded in doing so, for a various number of reasons, that there is too much vested interest in not cutting expenditure, particularly of the type which is not productive. So the government in any case should never cut productive expenditure, which is capital expenditure on new projects.
Correct.
They should cut expenditure, which is revenue expenditure on their infrastructure, salaries, wage bill, etc.
Okay.
And if you look at history, they've hardly been ever successful in ever sort of curtailing that.
Correct. Correct.
But the issue is that the government should realize at this point of time that the economy is in dire stress because of this closure. And whereas they have raised extra revenue from petroleum, that's fine. But they must use this money to help the MSME sector, to help the corporates, to help common and poor citizens.
I think as we said at the beginning, there are no easy answers, but at the same time, one would look for answers from the government only. And taxation or heavy taxation is not a favorable answer. Thank you so much, Mr. Nambiar, as well as Mr. Somani, for joining us.